So if you missed it in the last cutscene, Larson there told us that there was a dude named Pierre Dupont who's looking for the next piece of the Ski-On, and he's way ahead of us. So Laura's going to break into Natla Technologies, the company of the woman that hired her to find this Ski-On, and get the scoop on the real story. In the process, she's also going to use her anti-gravity breasts to thoroughly smash the laws of physics.
Destroying an elevator 24.
Just break them to pieces.
Yeah, this is a pretty good way to destroy her fucking hands.
Yeah,
well, she's wearing gloves.
The thing is,
she's just gonna fly it. Wait, how the fuck are we here?
If the elevator carried her that fast, well, first of all, wasn't there supposed to be a roof above that elevator? Second of all, it probably would have flung her a fair bit higher being, you know, an elevator.
You know.
I mean, for that trick to even work, using the elevator as a pulley to throw yourself, you would have to be exactly on the middle floor of the building.
Well, like I said, dude, I mean, I hate to harp on boob jokes, but anti-gravity boobs, it explains a lot of things.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
May as well, we've got nothing else to run on.
Also, looks like DuPont isn't that far ahead of us. He just finished a meal of beans. He's probably feeling pretty gassy right now. We should be careful.
So he's like the old homeless dude from the Dennis the Menace movie?
In many ways, yeah. I mean, he's French, so he's dirty and smelly as it is. We might not notice. The point is, though, since we talked all over that cutscene, there were three ancient... I'm just going to give a quick summary here. There were three ancient rulers of Atlantis. Two of them were Qualopec and Tehoken. Qualopec went to Peru and founded the Inca Empire and led it until he turned into a skeleton on a throne. And Tehoken is apparently buried underneath this monastery in Greece, which is known as St. Francis Folly. And that's where our next level will pick up in just a moment.
Alright.
Holy shit, a lion!
Oh my god!
Okay, so I hit the record button slightly late on this episode, but to be honest, yeah, you start the level and these lions come at you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Of all ways, you could have opened the video.
But seriously though,
Awesome.
we're in a monastery high on a cliff in Greece. Lions. Just hanging out in this monastery.
Yeah,
Just walk in a monastery and just start popping off with lions, you know what I mean?
This is the land that Mufasa told Simba not to go to.
I
was wondering what you were doing there for a second.
I don't know if that actually has lyrics or if it's just some guy yelling.
Yeah, it is lyrics, but you just phonetically pronounced a phonetic sound. I don't know how you did that.
It was my favorite movie as a kid.
I imagine they just pissed off a homeless guy and held a microphone up to it.
So you'll see here these two...
Are those omega signs? Why are there so many?
They're pressure pads. You have to push the block on them. One opens this door up front. The other unlocks the door up above for a later switch to open. Also here, I'm going to bait some gorillas out because that omega sign there closes this door behind us. I did say gorillas, yes, so watch this. There's going to be some gorillas.
I like how you just casually say, yeah, I'm just going to bait some motherfucking gorillas.
Yeah. So yeah, in addition to the lions, there's some gorillas.
There's some tiny-ass gorillas, dude.
Well, I mean, they've been living in a fucking monastery. They haven't had a full diet.
4 objects? Because that's what it looked like when it was running at us.
Oh, hell.
Oh, you're just gonna pump your chest. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, it didn't do him much good. I wasn't very intimidated.
Gorillas can take a lot of bullets, by the way.
Who's actually using a passive ability to increase his strength by 4?
What the fuck was that roll just now?
If you jump over the pressure pad, you can avoid closing the door. That said, I go up here to see what happens if you pull the switch when the door's already open.
That runs through a fucking pillar.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Well, these are magic gorillas, right? They've been praying in this monastery. They've lived the phase through physical objects, except bullets.
Oh,
so these are like level 20 monks, is what you're telling me.
Laura is just
Not
using
quite.
magical bullets.
Well, of course she is. I mean, she's
it's like
rich.
that scene in it's the scene in Indiana Jones where the dude does all the sword tricks and then he just pulls out a gun and shoots him. He's like, I don't got time for this shit.
Yeah, that was the gorilla pump in his chest.
I guess that's more of a mix between Indiana Jones and Lethal Weapon 1.
They're level 20 gorillas, Brofose, and they took a feat that makes them immune to physical attacks, but Lara realized this, and she brought magical arrows of gorilla slaying. Oh dear, that is not good.
Yeah.
Job.
So I have to go up and hit that switch anyways. See, this early in the game, we've already got a bunch of backtracking.
What the fuck was that? That's not backtracking. You're in the same fucking room. It's like, backtracking. Gotta pull
I'm an
levers,
impatient modern gamer. I demand that I never even need to turn around a full 180 degrees in a video game.
The new Tomb Raider.
Push and hold W until I get to the final objective. There's no difficulty. I'm just being told by other people where to go, and they'll clean up. Oh, hello.
Yeah, this is Pierre Dupont, our adversary. For the duration of the grease levels, he'll just pop up, engage in gunfights with us, and then when we put enough bullets in his ass, he'll run away like a pussy, and then just disappear behind a piece of scenery.
So he's just immune to magic bullets.
Pretty much. He's a pretty tough hombre.
Is the game programmed specifically that he vanishes when he's out of sight? That is really neat.
It is, actually. If you chase him around, he will wait until he can duck behind a piece of scenery to disappear.
That's really cool, actually.
Like,
I
never recorded
Next
it,
time
but
do that.
The previous recording, which I fucked up the sound on, I actually chased him around, and he, like, leaps behind a pillar, and I get around the pillar half a second later, and he's gone.
I think it's weird. Not a lot of games nowadays tend to do things like that, but I honestly think they play into it a whole lot better, and they're much more generally spooky, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think the game was trying to be creepy with it. It was just kind of a lazy way to get him out of the game. But in general, I mean, it's spooky as fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's back when games were still kind of, on some level, they're always abstract, right? So the idea is that he's stalking us through these ruins, and we fight him, and then he disappears again. But obviously, in the actual game, we put a bunch of bullets in him, and he leaps behind a pillar and goes invisible. But you sort of...
It's like, it's using their technical limitations to increase the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To their advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is
increase the story because I'm retarded, but yeah.
This is a secret in the game. Up here, you have to do these jumpy, slidey parts. You'll see these arrows in the texture here. You try to line yourself up with them and then do this jump. This took me like 15 minutes to do, and I edit most of it out, but I just leave a few in here. Here we go. This is my successful attempt.
Look at that fucking crossfade.
Yeah,
son.
I am a
It's
pro
Adobe
video editor.
Premiere right there.
That's
Sony Vegas, in point of fact, but yeah.
So
but yeah,
it's like it's friggin' 2002 again, and I'm logging onto a Counter-Strike server, onto a KZ map, and doing trick jumps and shouting at people. Oh my god!
I cannot believe what you just made take place.
These days, you wouldn't see like games that actually use the engine in order to do puzzles like that. You would have fucking QTEs and context-specific ledge grabbing.
Press X to jump and solve this puzzle
exactly
instantly.
Things like that. But you wouldn't see like sliding angles that you have to use your normal controls and the quirks of the engine like that. I like that.
That's something I really miss about the old Tomb Raiders. Is platforming in these games was rewarding. Sure, it was more cumbersome, but that's what made it rewarding. Is you had a separate grab button that you had to hold down. You had your jump button. You had to time your jump and arrow press, right? So when you made a complicated jump, slide, jump, backflip, roll, grab thing like that, it wasn't just, oh, I jump and hit this direction and the game does the rest for me. You felt like you did something. You earned it. You felt like as much of an acrobat as the character on screen.
For the most part, the newer games don't slouch on that either, which is something I like to see. That they got rid of a few things, and the jumping is a little bit easier, but it's still very rewarding to complete a certain complicated or difficult section.
Well, I think Prince of Persia did it well, because it streamlined the auto-grabbing and everything, but it added a bunch of other stuff you had to do. Whereas other games, like Uncharted, the platforming in Uncharted is just point in the direction you want to go, hit jump, and unless you're completely monkey retarded, you'll do it. Also, retarded is a hurtful word, etc., etc.
Who gives a fuck?
Political correct. You know,
What,
if this was the 90s, you'd be able to say that. But you know, now that's too politically correct, and now everybody just slings the word autistic around like it's nothing.
Frontspac says that just because he knows that our main audience is retarded people.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'd like not to think so, but maybe. So yeah, this is another puzzle. It actually took me a few tries to do this one. What you have to do is you have to slide down that ramp backwards, hang like I did, climb back up, and if you jump as soon as you fall back off the first slidey ledge into the second one, it'll time it perfectly so you land in this alcove. If you try and do it any other way, you'll fuck it up and land in the water and miss this secret.
So what you're saying is that you're pro.
What was that you
Yeah.
just... I'm not the only one who saw that thing in the water.
You swam past like an alligator or an
Yeah,
eel?
there's an alligator in there. There's a current that pushes you along, so you have to go up immediately or miss this other secret room. But yeah, there's an alligator in here too, so you kind of gotta...
I like how
hurry.
casually you said that. Like, yeah, there's an alligator.
By
yeah,
the way,
an alligator. There's
I'm more worried about
alligators.
missing the secret med pack than the alligator.
Well, I was shitting a little more bricks when I was actually playing the game, but... And there it is. It hauls
hello.
ass on land, too.
Oh,
This thing's
it's
You
fast.
took its ecosystem away.
I
Yeah, it's
must
probably
get revenge for my people.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
not so much.
Dude, this guy, like, okay, that human dude, he took like fucking 40 shots to dick, but this alligator takes like 2 to the ankle, and it dies.
Well,
The ankle?
he might be wearing
Yeah,
like a
dude.
bulletproof vest or something.
I mean,
Also-
alligators got these tiny ass ankles too, so like,
That guy must have been wearing, like, an entire suit made of Kevlar to take that many shots.
so we're
Well,
gonna
he's-
Prince of Persia this, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. Also, a return of our favorite enemy in the game.
Oh boy, I definitely missed those guys.
In
So
every
this
video
room-
game.
Is the bulk of the next game. Basically, we've got 4 doors to 4 different little challenge gauntlets, each themed after a mythological figure. And we have to open all the doors, then go through each gauntlet and get a bunch of keys. First, though, I'm going to get a secret.
Oh,
I like
of
how it's
course
just
you are.
written there on the plate above the door, just spelled out
It's
Thor.
spelled in like common
Fucking
day
English.
English too.
Yeah, well, they didn't want any ambiguity, right?
Did
They
I
You know,
just
like
see
the
the
guys who
same?
made this monastery wanted you to know you're going into Thor's room to get whooped by Thor's hammer and Thor's lightning, which you'll see later on.
And they knew that in the future English would be the dominant language.
Oh yeah, the Greeks.
So
The Greeks were very advanced people. They knew these things.
They were speaking English before English was invented.
That's also why the Mayan
Yeah, dude.
calendar only goes to
Oh,
2012.
damn.
That's another brutal death animation in the
Wow.
game. That's your falling death animation.
Yeah, your
So
whole
this
body
secret-
just folded.
You
Yeah.
fucking hit the ground and the bones from your leg shot through your head.
Pretty much. So this secret, that pressure pad opens a timed door at the bottom of the map, and this is how you get to it. And I actually did it before showing off the map, which maybe wasn't the best idea, but here. And I barely get through.
You are hauling ass to that door. Oh,
Oh shit!
This is a hard secret to get, and it took me a lot of tries. Also,
And
the
fucking
door opens
bat
for
gets
enemies.
through.
Oh, the bad open door, see?
Yeah, the bats just follow me in here.
My
They're
first thought
relentless.
that my first thought was it was an architect who was really good at doing like triple backflips, so he made a room he could only get to and no one else could. He was like, "This is
Only-
my room."
yeah.
Dude, there's so much. There's bitches in there, and you can't get them.
Oh yeah, this room
I'm
was
gonna
like
let
the
the bats.
VIP party lounge back in the day before this whole thing was abandoned. And then, yeah, here we'll hit the other switches. And you see here, this is our end of this. This door is the end of the level. So we've got 4 locks and 4 keyholes.
Oh boy, it's a
At
puzzle.
the distance, when
basically
you
you
look at it,
shoot
they kind
the
of look like
locks off,
swords.
They
Yeah, that's
do,
what I
but
thought.
they're like sliding pieces that slide along the thing, not quite swords, which would be probably cooler looking. I think actually in the remake they might have made them swords, but I could be misremembering. It's actually a game I want to do sometime, the remake, because for all things considered, it's pretty decent. It's probably the best of Crystal Dynamics' attempts at the Tomb Raider franchise. Is the Anniversary remake?
I'm just kind of imagining, like, I don't know why I thought of this, but Jerry Seinfeld playing this game, and he's like, "Why there's so many locks on these doors? Who are they trying to keep out of here?"
What is the deal with that? I'd love to see Jerry Seinfeld do a Let's Play. That would be the greatest.
What's the deal with all these bats? and then I killed everybody.
I don't think it was that bad. I just think we moved past it.
Well, if
10
you
clips of Magnum ammunition right now for Magnums that we don't have yet.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I suppose
Condom
I'm
joke.
overaged. Wow.
But this, like, you'll see here, I think part of it's the draw distance, but this game really does build a huge sense of space. Like, this room feels big.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, when you first got in here and you looked down, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
later, like more modern games will actually have like spaces that are physically bigger, but because of, I don't know if it's the art direction or the draw distance or something, but they feel smaller.
So, what res was this putting out at? Like 640 by 480? I wonder what the Saturn version was.
The console versions, I'm pretty sure, ran it like.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was 320 by 200 because the PlayStation did the same thing.
Yeah, the Saturn, like, I think I remember Saturn games being a bit grainier than their PlayStation counterparts usually, so it probably output at about the same resolution. The PC version, the original PC version, I think, could do up to like 640 by 480, but I'm running the Good Old Games download of this, which is highly recommended, which lets me run it at much higher resolutions natively. And it has a bit of built-in upscaling too, which is pretty nice. So this version you're looking at here looks a fair bit cleaner than the original version of the game would have on its equivalent consoles and PCs.
On the Saturn, and I imagine they also stretched their technical muscle a bit more with the PC version. I imagine the Saturn might have been a little bit backset by that. They might have needed like lower draw or something like that.
Honestly, at the time this game came out, the differences between versions weren't that substantial. I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, the draw distance on the PlayStation version wasn't any different, and I don't imagine the Saturn would have been much different from that.
Because I remember the Saturn couldn't do 2D games quite as well as the PlayStation, but I don't remember how 3D games sat side by side. I remember the Saturn version of Symphony of the Night was very technically inferior to the PlayStation version. The only up it had was that it had extra content. That's the only reason people would play it. It was missing transparency effects. The load times were much longer. Things like that.
Brutal.
I'm not sure if I'm remembering this wrong, but the draw distance limit, in this level it's black, in the forest levels, was it gray, like fog? And here it's black, like darkness?
In the old Tomb Raider games, the draw distance is always black, which I think kind of lends an air of creepiness to the whole sort of original series.
I guess I'm just remembering it wrong, but I thought the caves area that we came in through was like more of a foggy, and they actually changed the color of the draw distance limit.
I think there were some of the later Tomb Raider games might have gray draw distance fog, but in the original, like the first couple of games, it's always black when you hit the edge of the draw distance.
Oh, yeah.
As far as I can remember.
This was one of the Saturn's biggest failings, actually. I mean, it wasn't lacking for power, but they tried to do too much. They gave it 2 CPUs in 6 other processors, so every developer was like, how the fuck do we utilize this?
Okay, did anyone
So it
else
was like
just
the
see
PlayStation
the
3 of its time.
when we walked
That was
by?
a painting, bros.
Except it was
Why is there a painting of sharks there, though?
Because this is the Neptune room, so this tunnel, actually, there's a vent that sucks us down in here. So that's why Laura swims so fast. So we've got to hit this switch, grab a key, then swim all the way back up that thing without drowning.
This would be a fucking terrible death.
Like, I imagine
Oh my god.
if somebody knew how to utilize all of the Saturn's whack-ass hardware, you might be able to do something pretty nice, but 2 CPUs and 6 additional processors, why?
Not in 1995. Yeah, I don't know if anyone really was prepared for that.
1994 even. It came
Just
out
gonna
in
spin in a
Japan.
circle while you swim.
Yeah, might as well. It's something fun you can do. But yeah, some point I'll show off Laura's drowning animation because it's like really horribly grotesque to the point where they even joke about it on the Venture Brothers.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it's
I
really
remember
disturbing.
seeing that.
Yeah, you probably remember that episode.
Yeah.
That's a real thing, and it's as horribly disturbing as you imagine. Like
Venture
Laura's
Brothers
death
is a
animation in
fucking
this game.
I
awesome
think I
show.
know the one you're talking about. Like, she grabs her neck and starts reaching upwards. Is that the one I'm thinking about?
Yeah, and she has these gargling noises too, and it's just nasty. Like, it's part of the reason swimming is really anxiety inducing is because her death animation is just so skeevy.
They
Also
also
coming up
make
next-
fun of it on the TV show Spaced. The
Oh, do
BBC
they really?
show with Simon Pegg. Yeah,
I've seen a couple episodes, not the whole thing. I really like it though.
There's an episode where Simon Pegg's character is really in a bad mood, so what he does to release steam is he keeps drowning Tomb Raider. By Tomb Raider, I mean Laura Croft.
That's
He just
really
keeps
also
going.
Halo.
Yeah, he just keeps drowning Tomb
Keeps
Raider
drowning
over
the
and over.
Legend of Zelda.
that's kind of disturbing.
But
I need
yeah,
to watch more. I need to watch the rest of that series. I've
Dude,
seen a
it's
couple
only
episodes.
6 episodes, you fuck.
Well, it had 2 seasons. That's like 12 altogether. But it was just like it was on like cable one time, and I saw a couple episodes.
Yeah, so it's the fucking, it's the, oh shit.
Yep, gotta deke out that boulder in order to
So someone
progress.
designed this room, like back then, they're like, we're gonna, when you come in here, there's gonna be something
So-
hidden back here, but what are we gonna do to block it off? Let's put a big boulder here with a ramp. But then there's a fucking button at the end where if they dodge it, they get to go there.
Well, it's not a button so much. You just have to avoid the boulder. Like you just have to avoid it. The key's always up here, right?
No, but there was a space behind you that opens up the way out that the boulder lands on. So they designed it so you can leave afterwards, even though it was a death trap. They're like, yeah, if you survive it.
You're
know
right.
what?
I never noticed
you probably deserve it.
I never noticed that the spot where the boulder lands was actually a pressure pad for the door, and
Yeah, you
I
stepped
played
on
this
it a
through
second
multiple
before.
times recording it.
So I know I've harped on this enough, but back on the 2 and then 6 processor bed on the Sega Saturn. One of the fellows who worked on the Saturn version of Virtua Fighter actually had this to say about the whole mess. One very fast central processor would be preferable. I don't think all programmers have the ability to program 2 CPUs. Most can only get about 1.5 times the speed you can get from one SH2. I think that only 1 in 100 programmers are good enough to get this kind of speed out of the Saturn.
Wow.
Just
So,
had that memorized, huh?
Well done.
I just read it off.
Yeah, I know.
Of course.
It would be
But
funnier
still, I
if you
think
just
it's-
had that memorized. You're like, yeah, I was a Saturn fanboy. I still, this
trap-
lightning.
Yeah, this trap, there's a bunch of like pressure pad looking things on the floor, more on the ceiling, and it looks like there's like a pattern to it. Completely ignore it. Wait for the lightning to strike on the far side, then leap through. Also, this is a neat puzzle, because you have to fake out a giant goddamn hammer with this pressure pad. Watch
Is it
this.
Thor's hammer?
Yes. I
Oh
say
my
Mjolnir.
god!
Oh, damn.
And then it knocks down these giant blocks, because everyone loves block puzzles.
What do you figure the death animation is for getting smashed by that? Does she just disappear under it?
She just kind of crumples. Like the hammer comes down, and then she's all crumpled on the floor. I've seen it. I didn't record it.
While we're this early in the series, what you should do is you should record every death animation, and then we can just have a video at the end of every death animation.
Oh my god!
I've been tempted to do it. That said, I mean, you've got the falling animation, the drowning animation, and outside
see
of
if there's
that,
one already.
yeah. Well, drowning, falling, spike, and then just normal like keel over dead from damage. Other than that, you don't really have any other special death animations. There is one in a later level in this world that I'll show off, but that's a really specific one. But it's really cool, and I'll definitely show it off. Anyone who's played Tomb Raider before probably knows which one I'm talking about. It's pretty memorable.
I like how before she pushes, she has to back up and run at it.
Yeah. It's like, as much as some of them are a little stiff and awkward, for the era, these animations were just...
I mean,
Yeah,
they
really
make it
good.
look
Detail
like
is
she's
awesome.
fucking struggling, so...
Yeah.
Also, anyone notice all the swastikas on the wall?
Not yet.
I do now. They're
You
right
do
there.
now, yeah. I noticed that when I was playing this game, and I was like, these all look like fucking swastikas. Like, I mean, I know fascism is popular in Greece these days, but I didn't know it went back that far.
Well, those
It's
aren't
just a bunch
Nazi
of fucking...
swastikas.
It's a bunch of juveniles that are just breaking in here and slowly desecrating it.
God damn.
To the point where
They're
it
like-
becomes a pattern.
It's been 4 years, or 4 generations rather, and their grandchildren are doing it. Family tradition. We're just gonna make this entire
Run
place.
into this place and draw swastikas on the embroidery.
Given enough time, and eventually graffiti becomes art, I guess. That's what we've learned here. You know, fun fact, ancient Rome actually had significant amounts of graffiti. And it was pretty much exactly what you'd expect of a modern era.
You wake up at 5 a.m. and
So-
some kid's broken into your house and he's drawing swastikas patterns on your walls.
I used to do
guess
that
if
in
it was-
Minecraft. I'd buzz
if
into
it was
people's
today-
servers and make hidden Nazi chambers in their basements, and then tell the admins that they were secret
God, I
Nazis
did-
and get them banned.
I did that shit too. I think we did this together.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we did actually. That was a
Oh,
lot of fun.
okay.
God damn it, you guys. I was
Well,
about to
this
say,
was
that's
like 3
oddly
years ago.
specific.
Also, you might have noticed some blood
Ooh.
spurting out there for no reason. I was in fact getting shot. Our good friend Pierre has returned,
Ooh, I like
and he's
that.
got companions.
You're just
Ooh.
kind of casually getting shot.
We're also at pretty low HP, honestly.
Can he climb up
I don't know.
after you?
No, he'll just run around down there and shoot at us. He's a pretty good shot, though.
He just runs around on the bottom floor, really?
Also, yeah, he's a lion tamer.
What?
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
This guy should be the main character. What are we
I
playing
know,
as Lord
he's actually really awesome. He even has
Yeah,
two
no
handguns,
shit.
too.
Dude, he took like 40 shots and he comes back with lions.
I just
Like,
need to
he's
step
not
up
even
my
deferred. He could
my
just...
game.
He's been finding health packs laying around, too, and just healed up, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. Lord didn't come back with lions.
Yeah, how many health packs do you think would have been here had he not been here first?
Like 3,000. I don't know, like,
Are those
like a
swords?
pile of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
you know
is
who
this,
Damocles is?
Yes, the Sword of Damocles. I was about to bring that up. I guess you're gonna do it. Go.
Yeah, legend, I don't remember all the details. Damocles was a dude. He did something that made him a bad guy or hated by someone. He went to, like, a dinner, and there was
He
this,
was a
like, sword
warmonger,
hanging
wasn't
above
he?
him on a string. I'm remembering it really badly. I probably should have looked it up before I did the recording of
I
this, because
think,
it would have made good.
I think he was a warmonger, and he was sentenced to have a sword suspended by a hair above his throne.
Oh, yeah, that was a hair, yeah, above his throne.
The idea of if you're gonna say something is a Sword of Damocles in today, like what it basically means is like there's a threat looming on you. Like there's a constant threat to
Yeah.
be seen.
Pretty much.
And that's
Also-
what's happening here, I guess.
Yeah.
We saw the Swords of Damocles. Oh, and now we got punctured.
They home in on
Oh.
you. The swords,
Wait,
the shadows
wow.
show where the swords are, but they will home in on your ass, and it's bullshit. And the only way to effectively avoid them is to just run really haphazardly.
God,
I
this
think-
just reminds me of Super Mario RPG for the SNES.
Oh my god! The most hilarious
Same
part is how
shit happened.
they just fall and stand straight up.
Oh yeah, they just
Yeah,
launch
I
you
know.
in the ground.
They make
This
the
is like-
weirdest sound when they land.
I mean,
They don't
the
even
lightning
go into the
in the
ground.
Thor
They're just
room?
standing.
The lightning in the Thor room's kind of bullshit because it's like it gives you the impression there's a pattern, but there isn't. But these swords are just assholes. They killed me a couple times here because there's just can't avoid them really easily. I make it look easier than it is just because I tried this so many times, but they just launch right at you, sort of semi-randomly.
I gotta say, I'm very
Fine.
impressed by this so far. Actually, I didn't expect this level of tombs to be rated. I guess I didn't expect Greek gods to move here,
Well,
and then
Greek
traps
gods
based on
and
them
Norse gods.
specifically. Like that's really cool. Yeah,
Well-
I think we've already established I know nothing about culture, so I'm just gonna call everything like Aztec and Greek.
Yeah. Well, Saint Francis, presumably the guy that set up this big monastery, didn't know shit about mythology either. 'Cause he's got Neptune and Atlas, but also Thor and Damocles, who was never a god, and
Oh, so I
Thor's
didn't fuck
Norse, and from a completely different time period.
Maybe he just chose his favorite characters.
Yeah, this is
dude.
like this is
Like
like
This is the first
fanfiction.net.
version. Yeah, I was about to say this is the first fanfiction.net. This is just his. Then Zeus was attacking the girl with guns, and then she got out. But then Neptune was like, "No, you don't."
I think if you were,
It's like a-
And then they made out.
you could just kind of see him vanish right there. He barely pokes behind that piece of scenery, and then
he
auto aim just
slid
turned
behind
off.
it too.
yeah,
Oh, fuck.
Oh no!
What?
yeah. That
Didn't
one
even-
lion was still alive. My original recording actually had a far more interesting fight where I already had the keys, so I just dropped down and fought them all. But this time around, it's just like, nah. It's really the best way to go about this fight is to just shoot everything from up above. It's not as entertaining, but it'll, save you shotgun ammo if you really need it, and it'll save you health in the long run, unless you get lucky.
I like how huge
You
those
just do a
keyholes are for the
flip to
keys you're
get to the
putting in them.
next key.
I know. And it isn't the automatic bringing up the inventory thing brings up the wrong keys half the time, and I have no idea why, just in this instance.
Is it just the good old games version?
No, it's the game itself. I kind of remember this irritating me back in the day, but
It's kind of
Most
weird
of the
they
time
wouldn't
it'll
have
bring up the
fixed
right
it.
item for the right puzzle, but not this time.
Alright. Totally necessary to flip like that.
Well, he's got to pinpoint the right lock, you see, because when he started this, he jumped over the second one.
He can't count.
But yeah, once you get familiar enough with Tomb Raider controls, you'll
See,
always find yourself doing
shit
stuff
is
like
what
this.
we're
It's just so much
commenting
faster.
on. That
I'll
unnecessary.
I'll
Are you
turn
gonna
when I
fucking do
care to
another
turn.
backflip? Okay.
Hey, yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna
you
backflip
are.
into the end
You
level
are.
screen.
You're gonna do a backflip. Fucking incredible.